It's Kay here. I've just come back to share another delight. I'm hoping that you will find it delightful actually, but I'm back to share something that I have worked on today. It's another beaded project. I was on the internet, as one tends to do, looking for inspiration and something different to work on in my beads or with my beads, and I came across a site that I have used before, a site called NoseckGems, and if I just show you the pattern here, it's NoseckGems, and it's an online store. As I say, I've bought from them before, but this time they were doing a little bit of a promotion and they had a special offer on this particular pattern. I believe it was 10% off kits, which is what this amounted to, and it's www.noseckgems.com if anyone's interested. What I actually purchased was a pattern to do another beaded bauble, and this is how the pattern comes. It's presented in a cellophane bag. The pattern is folded like so. You then have all the ingredients you need to make your very first bauble. Galvanized silver beads size 15/0, galvanized silver beads size 11/0, Swarovski 4mm bicones, and they are Swarovski, that's how they are presented and sold. The Swarovski teal coloured bead here in 4mm bicone, and they are all glass, and then these 11/0 seed beads, and they are so pretty. You'll see shortly with this bluey greeny hue to them, very sea light in the colours. And then these twisted bugle beads, I believe they'd be about 11mm. I'll just have a little look on the pattern. Beg your pardon, my Yuki twisted bugles, silver lined, 2 by 12mm, and you do get everything you need and extra to make this bauble. This actually is what is left. This is Fireline, very similar to this off the reel, but clearly they've just given you enough to do the project with a little bit left over. So if I take that out of the way, that's the £6 weight, and it is all beautifully presented like this. So all you need to contribute to it is a bauble, 60-70mm, no larger because you'd have to add extra beads into it, a pair of sharp scissors, and your size 13 beaded needle. So having followed the pattern to the letter, this is what you actually end up with. I move these things out of the way and turn it this way. It really is a beautiful bauble. You wouldn't necessarily have to just use it at Christmas if you didn't want to. This is pretty enough just to have dangling in front of you. You set off with this beaded net, they call it in the pattern, at the top, and it's actually made up in 2 parts essentially, but they do all come together. So you do the beaded netting, then once you've done the netting you start doing the downward pattern, and you start off by using the ones with the several bicone. I think there's 5 bicone there, and these come from each peak of the net. Once that bit is done, you actually make another circle at the bottom linked to the downward posts, if this is making sense. I hope so. And then you come back up and you do a plainer line of beadwork with 1 simple bicone at the top here, which links again into the spaces in between the loop. On the bottom here is simplicity itself. It's the bicones, it's the twisted bugle, finishing up with the silver bicone here and 3 little seed beads on the bottom, just to lend the finish. They don't talk about making this loop at the top, but essentially it's very, very easy to do. It does need a lot of reinforcing by virtue of it being what holds the bauble wherever you want it to be. But I love this. I think it's got quite a vintage look to it just by virtue of the colours that are used. I've chosen a glittered bauble to lay my beadwork onto because I wanted that other dimension. Some people might think it's a little bit busy, but I think it sets off the glitter and twinkle of the bicone and these galvanized beads. If you decide you'd like to make something of this nature and you're buying the metallic beads, do be very careful when you're buying them, because if you read the small print, some are actually dyed. I don't quite know how they do it, but it's obviously a plating process, and sadly that does tarnish, or the colour does come off in a very short time. I've used them before, but if they're processed as galvanized, then I think you'll find the colour is more steadfast and it's not going to do any tarnishing or anything in the immediate future. So I hope you found this helpful. My plan is to get hold of the people that I purchased the pattern from, and with their permission I would very much like to do a tutorial as it stands, apart from adding the loop, the hanger to the top of this. I have strictly adhered to their pattern dictate, so there's no way I would like to modify it in any way, because I think it's absolutely beautiful as it stands. I, needless to say, don't want to contravene any copyright issues or anything like that, but I feel the company will be advertised and they may well agree to me doing this tutorial for you. It's very, very simple. I think probably a beginner beader would actually find it quite simple to do with the tutorial, not perhaps to read a pattern, because that takes a little bit of time and a little bit of understanding of directions and all that kind of thing. But I hope you've enjoyed seeing this piece. It really is such a delight. Having got the pattern, that obviously I'm free to change colours, add little bits and pieces to it that I would like to, but for the moment I've just enjoyed putting this together immensely, and I hope you like what you see too. So thank you for sharing this with me. To all the beaders out there, I hope this inspires you, and to people who just like prettiness, I hope this pleases you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Take care for now. Bye bye everyone.